WNBA schedule was released, and we're going to kick it off with just speaking about that. Now, the 2025 WNBA season, it kicks off 44 games. As you know, they've expanded into playing more games, and now the key matchups for the opening weekend are as follows. The Sparks, the Los Angeles Sparks, will be facing against the Golden State Valkyries in the first game of the season. Then it follows with the Lynx playing against the Minnesota Lynx will be playing against the Dallas Wings at home. This will be the debut of Paige Bueckers. But before we even get into that, Paige Bueckers, I do want to speak quickly about this. The fact that the Sparks are playing the Valkyries at home, that's going to be a great game, especially because they're both West Coast teams. If Kelsey Plum is on that team, we'll see. But that should be a great game. The fact that you have a lot of young talent especially on the Sparks, and we'll see who's on this roster for the Valkyries. But this will be their first game, and they will be opening up in the Chase Center. So that will be a great matchup to see. The Minnesota Lynx, though, they will be playing against the Dallas Wings, and this will be Paige Bueckers' debut. This might be a tough game for Paige to play in her first game. The fact that you have the reigning Defensive Player of the Year in Nafisa Collier, you can almost guarantee that she will be guarding Paige 35 to 40% of the time. You can just put that down in the books. If she's not guarding Enrique, she will be guarding Paige, or obviously Satu Sabali. So this will be the first time that we will be seeing the three-headed monster, and this is all in speculation if Paige does go number one, but this will be all in speculation in case Paige does go. Jundal, to answer your question, Jordan just got into a car accident on the way home. He was on the way home. He was supposed to be recording with us tonight. He is not going to be on with us tonight. He is right now speaking with the police regarding his car accident. So it kind of sucks, obviously. So y'all send he's fine. He's fine. I've spoken to him. He's fine. He's not hurt, anything like that, but he is in a car accident. So it literally happened on his way home right now, maybe 10 minutes ago. So he will be on with us next episode, most likely. But right now, he's just handling that situation. So no, Jordan is not on tonight. But speaking of who will be on, again, Paige Bueckers playing at her home debut, and they're playing against the Minnesota Lynx. We will see how far the Dallas Wings have progressed since last season and how they'll move forward, moving on into the next season. The last game of 5/16, so May 16th, the last game, the Atlanta Dream will be playing against the Washington Mystics. The Atlanta Dream will be playing against the Washington Mystics. This should be a good game. Carl Smezko, the Atlanta Dream's head coach, first-year head coach in the WNBA. This will be his debut, and they'll be going against the Mystics head coach, who we don't know yet. And we'll see if Shakira Austin is completely healthy. She should be at this point. The Mystics have a low-key really good roster. I would expect them to do kind of well moving forward, honestly, even though they got the number 4 pick. Like, I feel like with just the fact that they have a lot of assortment of players that are really decent and just low-key really good, like, I feel like the Mystics could be a sleeper team next season. I don't know how good they'll be, but I do like their roster. Again, if you don't know the name Shakira Austin, Shakira is a great player. So y'all just keep on the lookout for that. Moving forward, I agree, Tyrese, that I like that Mystics roster. I was looking at it again. I'm like, Julie Van Loo, Stephanie Dolson, Ariel Atkins, Shakira Austin, Brittany Sykes, Aaliyah Edwards. Then they're going to get the number 4 pick in the draft. They should be better than they were last year for sure. They almost snuck into the playoffs. So the fact that they have an assortment of players, Emily Enksler, if they bring her back, like they have some players on that team. They got some players on the team. Injuries kind of wrecked them in the beginning of the season, but they should be kind of good after. They should have had Fever Dallas as the second or third game after Chicago, and that's funny because that's exactly who we're going to bring up in a few seconds. The next game is the Las Vegas Aces on 5/17 versus the New York Liberty. The Aces will be, and that's tough for New York. I mean, that's a tough opener for New York, but it's also a tough one for Las Vegas. You have to open up the season against one of the best teams in the WNBA, if not the best team, and you might be losing one of your best players in Kelsey Plum. That could start off the season with a losing record, and that's not what any player wants to do. So the fact that they're gonna and they have to travel to New York. And that's a place where obviously their playoff dreams ended last season. So that's not something that they kind of want to do. But with that, we'll see how good the Las Vegas Aces retool in this offseason. Then it leads off into the Chicago Sky, which I believe is I would say this is my second, if not best matchup of the weekend. I would probably go Wings, Lynx, and or this. I mean, they got some great matchups, honestly. Aces Liberty is a great one, but this Chicago Sky Indiana Fever game, they are kicking it off. And oh, I'm gonna read this comment. Brazy said before I keep going about that. When the Mystics are healthy, they are a top 4 to 6 seed. I disagree with that. I think that they're closer to 8, like 7 to 8. I don't agree with that one. I don't think that their rosters are better than the other playoff teams that's already there. But I do believe that they are going to have a great roster as well. What is that list of players? These are the people that we're going to speak about today. But what I will say is this: back to the Chicago Sky and the Indianapolis Fever game. That is a great way to kick off the WNBA. And I wish that game was on Sunday, where they're playing against themselves alone. But that's okay. The fact that they kind of jam packed it in between the Las Vegas game and the Seattle Storm and Phoenix Mercury game. This will be the debut of Angel Reese in her second season, Caitlin Clark in her second season. The two rivals will be matching up against each other. Obviously, Indiana took the season series last year. Caitlin Clark played home wrecker when she came into the building last game and on Barbie night and spoiled their dreams. I believe they won the season series 3-1. I want to say, if not 2-1. So she had some great games against Chicago. Angel Reese put up a double-double. So this is going to have a lot of implications about the state of their teams moving forward. Obviously, Chicago have been wanting Kennedy Carter. You already know Kennedy Carter's going to have something to say. She's been killing it in China. Thank you for that, June Doll. It was 3-1. Kennedy Carter has been killing it in China in the WCBA. She'll be coming back, 26 years old, ready in the prime of her career. Kelsey Mitchell, who's a big name free agent, is going to be hopefully coming back. Caitlin Clark is in her second year. Lexi Hall, Leah Boston, they should all be getting better. This would be honestly, this is going to be really one of the best matchups if not in the whole WNBA for this weekend. So that'd be a really great matchup to watch. I'll keep your eyes on that. Then the last game, second to last game, the Seattle Storm play against the Phoenix Mercury. If the Storm don't win this game, if you're a Phoenix Mercury fan, I pray about your optimism because I don't see y'all making the playoffs this year. But we'll see. We'll see if they get in, and we'll see if they get in. Obviously, this might be Diana Taurasi's last season, so she'll have something to say about that as well. But unless Phoenix kind of retools and gets better, it's going to be really tough for them to kind of repeat what their success was, especially in the playoffs. Brittany Griner is getting older. Taurasi's obviously getting older. And then they have Kalia Copper, who is a monster. But the question is, outside of Natasha Cloud, Cop, and BG and DT, who else are you bringing off the bench to kind of really support them? So that's kind of where my reservations are with the Phoenix Mercury. So we'll see about them. And then lastly, the Mystics, which is funny enough, it's not a back-to-back. They play 2 games, and for whatever reason, the next night they play against the Connecticut Sun in Connecticut. Connecticut also might be one of the teams that we'll see, depending on who they bring back or retain, if they will be making the playoffs this WNBA season. I'm going to open up the lines. Y'all can chime in anytime y'all want. I would love to hear what y'all got to say about that. But yes, the fact that we have this WNBA schedule, those are some of those are some of the games that you need to look out for, especially just in this opening weekend. My better question is, what games are you expecting the most, and which ones do you feel like are the best matchups between these games, these slated games?